Let's get another question, or actually our first question. This was sent in to CornyDriveThru at gmail.com from someone who requested we do not use their name. Jim, what was the last conversation you had with Vince McMahon? Did he talk to you at any point after you went to OVW? Also, at the Hall of Fame, did he give you the big hug he is known to do?
Yes, he did. And that was the last conversation I had with Vince, was at the Hall of Fame. Funny how that works out. That's the last time I saw him. Actually, they were doing a walkthrough and they have to walk through everything. I guess they want to make sure all the Hall of Fame guys could still walk. That may have been a concern. But it consisted of, we were going to be on one side of the gorilla position, or we were going to be in the gorilla position, I should say. And we would walk out on the right-hand side of the podium, go to the podium, and then leave the stage by the left-hand side and go back to the gorilla position. It was very intricate stuff. So while we're standing back there to do the walkthrough, I wasn't really paying any attention. But when I walked around the corner, there was Vince out on the stage because, of course, he has to be there to personally make sure everybody can walk. So when I turned around, there he was, and he saw me. And I said, well, I didn't picture our big reunion to be, because there was like 300 or 400 people in the building between all the boys and crew people and technicians, and et cetera. I said, I didn't expect to be at a public our reunion to be in such a public sphere. And he gave me the big hug. Welcome home. He said, I know you might not have always felt like it was your home, but you're home here. Well, thank you, Ben. Maybe a home I might want to put on the market and move somewhere else. But anyway. No, and that was just briefly there. And then later on I did, because let's face it, to be honest, after some of the comments that I've made concerning their company and various practices, for them to invite me back and for them to put the rock and roll in, that was a nice thing. So I took Vince, what do you get, the billionaire that has everything? I took him a magazine from my collection that had an article about Jess McMahon on it. It was from 1929. However, he ain't got this, or I would have seen it in his house. So I gave him that as a token of my appreciation, also for the 5-figure payoff that I got for the goddamn night. And we talked for a couple minutes, and everything was pleasant. And then I left his office, and I saw Kevin Dunn in the hallway, and he saw me, and I kept on walking, and he never turned around, and we ignored each other. So it was even better.
You said you would have seen it in his house. Did he have much wrestling stuff or anything that you saw related to his father or grandfather in the house?
No, actually, there was very little if anything, in his personal office in the house. You know, he had a few things and some plaques and some pictures, his, dad stuff, but it wasn't like a wrestling treasure trove. Probably even most of the boys probably have more wrestling memorabilia up in their various houses than he did. And I mean, there was some family stuff, but not in a wrestling context. So, but I would have seen something like that, because that would have caught my eye. If he had, then I would assume he would have something like that on display.